We are 2 days away from the NFL draft. Eagles with the 32nd selection in the first round. We'll have coverage for you all day and then through the draft at night. Joining us now, of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, none other than Ross Tucker. Ross, we appreciate you coming back this year.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's great to see you guys. You look all crisp and clean.
Ah, there he is.
It's by the way, I'm always jealous of Ike's voice. Whatever he was just selling, I want to buy it because his voice is just so good. I'm so jealous.
Oh, look at you buttering us up. It's good to see you too, Ross. You look crisp and clean as well. You know, I have a bone to pick with you, Ross. When we had you on last year for my YouTube big board for offensive linemen, you laughed at my Roger Rosengarten pick, and the guy was awesome. What do you have to say for that?
I don't remember. So I'm quite sure I was laughing at whatever it is that you opposed to like what your ranking of him was. I mean, listen, you guys have the audio, you can pull it, but some of your analysis like does a good job of sliding or moving. Like I think it was that part of it that cracked me up more than what you said about Rosengarten. You're right. He played very, very well for the Ravens. That was a home run pick for them. He is a good athlete, and you identified that because of your basketball background.
Look, I'm not gonna take your backhanded compliments. We appreciate you having us here. After we do the offensive line big board, we are going to want to ask you a couple questions about the draft, if you don't mind, if you've got the time.
Of course.
All right. So I'm going to give you my YouTube offensive line big board for this year. I do 3 guys. You'll tell me. I'll tell you what I think, and then you tell me what you think. You got it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Number 3, Marcus Bowe out of Purdue. So awesome athlete. Sort of reminds me of an Eagles offensive lineman in that he runs like awesome. The guy, first of all, anyone who he's blocking usually ends up on the ground without him holding him, and it looks like he sees the field. In the YouTube I was looking at, like a running back or something. He is looking in the space that he has to create the block for, and he ends up creating a hole that I didn't even see. So not only is he strong and a great athlete, but he seems pretty smart to me. Ross, Marcus Bowe, my number 3 guy.
You know what? So what I like about it is I like that you identify and find guys that other people aren't talking about that much.
Yep.
Right.
And I like him. I think he's good. He's like one of those guys that I still say, give him a chance at tackle. If it doesn't work out, then you can move him to guard. Now, he's like a lot of guys in this year's class. He falls into the Ross Tucker short arm category, right, with 32-inch arms. So he probably will slide in to be a guard. But that's a guy that, like, if the Eagles took him in the second or third round and had him compete with Steen, he's got some Steen similarities. Probably a better athlete, not as big as Steen, but in that he could probably hold it down for you at tackle, but better suited at guard. I don't even know how to comment on some of your other things that you say about Fritz linemen. Else ever say before. I don't know what to say about that. He is a good athlete, yes. I don't even know what you said about the vision, like running back vision. I don't know what that means.
Well, you'll see. You'll see at the next level. You're a real football guy like me. You'll start seeing at the next level, Ross. All right, number 2. Now, I think this guy. I don't really look at. I don't remember where these guys are ranked, but I think this guy is well thought of. My number 2 guy is Josh Simmons out of The Ohio State University. He is huge. He's strong. He runs like a tight end. There are a bunch of plays where I saw him, and I just remember this from a lot of Eagles plays with Mailata and then Kelsey and Juergens, is that like the running back is 10, 15 yards down the field, and he's keeping up with them, knocking guys over. And the other thing is that like he looks like he loves hitting people. Like that whoever... He looks like he is attacking the defensive lineman rather than the defensive lineman attacking him. So my number 2 guy is Josh Simmons out of Ohio State.
So you might not realize it, Spike, but what you just said is really important for an offensive lineman. He looks like he really likes hitting people. I know you people think that every NFL player really likes hitting people. Yes, and no, right? Like there's some guys that really, really enjoy it. I never thought just blocking people was fun. Like, why is that fun? They get to score a touchdown. I'm just like standing in front of this guy. No, like the fun part is trying to kill the dude, right? Like the fun part is trying to physically punish him. So you need guys like that. Mailata's like that. Landon's like that. There are teams that don't have a single enforcer, a single bodyguard type at all on their offensive line, and it's problematic. I'm a big Josh Simmons guy. I actually did 2 of his games, Spike, when he was at San Diego State as a freshman. And I distinctly remember thinking, what is this guy doing at San Diego State? I mean, he's like 6'6", 320, long arms, athletic. He played awesome for Ohio State till he got hurt. If he didn't get hurt, I think he would be the number 1 tackle in this draft. I think he'd be like a top 5, top 10 pick. So, some other time I'll come on to get your medical evaluation, your YouTube medical evaluation, but I like the video breakdown.
Well, unfortunately, because of the Sixers, I'm actually pretty good at the medical evaluations as well. All right, my number 1 guy. Speaking of liking to beat the crap out of guys.
This is your number 1 O-lineman.
This is my number 1 O-lineman.
On your big board.
Is Wyatt Millam out of West Virginia. Out of all the offensive, yes. Out of all
West Virginia,
yes.
Oh,
out of all the offensive linemen I watched, this guy beat the crap out of more guys than I saw anybody else. Pass blocking, he's beating the crap out of guys. Run blocking, he's beating the crap out of guys almost every play. If I was a defender and I had to go up against him, I would be bummed out because I knew I would know it was going to be a long day. I want the Eagles. I want Howie to pay attention. I want this guy in Stoutland U. Number 1, Wyatt Millam out of West Virginia.
So, first of all, I thought it was Milam, but maybe
I don't know.
I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know. I'm just looking at the YouTube.
Sure
I don't know. Millam. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be Milam. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, so to have him ahead of like Armand Membu from Missouri,
yeah,
who reminds me a lot of a former teammate of mine, Jason Peters, like a lot, or Campbell from LSU is ballsy.
Yep,
for sure.
Yep.
I will say this: I too like Milam. Here's what's interesting about Milam. He was one of the Eagles' 30 visits. They brought him in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So they don't do that usually unless they like him as well. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles drafted him. Everything you said about him is correct. He is 6'7", but has 32-inch arms. So that puts him in a really weird spot. He's almost like as much of a T-Rex as me in terms of short arms. So the question will be, if his arms aren't long enough to play tackle, is he too tall to play guard? You can play guard at 6'7". You know, Harriman's famously did it very well for a long time. But you're going against a bunch of guys that are like 6'1", 6'2", 320. Really, really hard to get leverage on them. I like Milam as a player. I would not have him number 1 on my Spike Eskin YouTube big board.
Well, we are not the same, Ross. We are not the same. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you you humoring me here. Ross Tucker with us, the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Now, you were undrafted. Like on that weekend, was just thinking about at that time, was there ever a possibility you thought you might go? Like, what was that weekend like? What was the process like of you going from college to the pros?
Yeah, so I was such a bottom of the barrel NFL draft prospect. I knew I wasn't going to get drafted.
Okay.
And my agent told me, remember back then, there was no rookie tryout camp like they have now.
Right.
And back then, there was only an 80-man offseason roster, not 90. Okay, it's a big difference. So my agent told me it was 50-50 whether or not I would even get signed. And I'll never forget, my parents had just gotten me a cell phone, my first cell phone for my birthday, okay? This is 2001. So I had my dorm room phone there. I had my cell phone there. The draft was Saturday and Sunday. During the first round, by far the worst team in the NFL for the previous decade, the Cincinnati Bengals called me. And I answered the phone, Spike, and I was like, I'm ready to be a Bengal. Let's do this. Like, it was the first round, and it was the assistant offensive line coach saying, "Hey, Ross, just want to make sure we had the right number for you. We have you ranked as a guy that if you don't get drafted, we might want to sign." Like, oh, okay, but I'm ready now. Just so you guys know, I'm ready now. If you want to take me now. So that was pretty funny. That was the only team that called me was the Bengals. They called me Saturday and Sunday. So real quick, my agent told me the longer it takes after the draft for me to call you, the worse of a sign it is. So it's like an hour after the draft and he hasn't called me. So I'm thinking, I just got up at 6 a.m. every morning, second semester. I didn't go out one time. My friends are coming in at 5 a.m. and I'm going to go work out. And it didn't happen. I'm not getting signed by a team. I went out to the fraternity. I couldn't even look at my friends in the eye. I had to eat something. That's where you eat. It's called an eating club. It's a long story. I go back. I'm walking up the steps, and I hear the dorm room phone ringing. This is before cell phones. So I run up the steps. I answer it, and my agent's like, "Where were you?" I said, "I was hungry, and I thought I wasn't getting signed. You took an hour and a half." He's like, "Well, congratulations. You're the newest member of the Washington Redskins." So that was my story. I thought I had just wasted months and months of my life, but instead I got a chance and I was able to make the most of it in Washington.
You thinking you were a first-round pick is the funniest thing I've heard today. Not that you couldn't have been, but I can only imagine. You're like, I don't think I'm going to get drafted, and then you get called on day one.
I called you on day one. You're like, holy cow.
I knew they weren't taking me. It's like a half joke. I knew they weren't taking me.
Yeah.
But nobody told me that they might call you earlier to talk to you. So, I got a call from a NFL number. I'm like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, by the way, they still didn't try to sign me after the draft. They didn't. They signed some other guys. And so I think Washington was the only team that wanted to give me a chance. And thank goodness for Marty Schottenheimer because he gave me a real shot.
Well, I tell you, Ross, that's the last time we was broke, man, leading up to that draft.
Yeah. All right, Ross.
Oh, man, was...
I remember those because I remember those workouts in the morning, and you're still grinding. You're saying to yourself, we're almost there. We're almost there. I made it through my college career. I've done I don't know if, Ross, you got invited down to the combine and all that type of stuff, but you went through that whole process, and you still don't know where your future is going to be at. And you're waiting for this weekend to be told where you're about to start this new life.
Right.
And here's the crazy thing, Ross, right? We all think we're going to play 10-plus years, right? We all think we're going to play 10-plus years when you get drafted.
Yep.
So that's why you're so elated when you do get the phone call, but then reality sets in that you got to go try to make the ball club and everything else. So, but
honestly, I would have been absolutely thrilled with just making the practice squad.
Exactly. Yes.
No, stupid I am. That first mini camp, you get $400. I never cashed the check. Because to me, it wasn't about that. Now it's like nowadays you can take a picture.
Right. Yes.
Back then, I never cashed check, but I'll never forget this. My roommate was some undrafted lineman from Northern Iowa named Brad Harms. Shout out Brad Harms. I was such a bottom of the barrel guys, Spike and Ike. I got no signing bonus, zero.
Wow.
Okay? His signing bonus was $5,000.
Yeah.
He opens it up and he's like, "Oh my gosh, taxes, they're terrible. How bad are taxes?" And I'm looking at him like, "Yeah, taxes, they're bad. Yeah, I hate taxes." I had zero. So anyway, he was terrible. They cut him after the first weekend, and I played really well. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can do this." I called my agent. I said, "Yo, can you get me the $5,000 from the Northern Iowa?" Because I had no money.
Well, the good thing about not getting a signing bonus is you don't pay any taxes on it,
That's
right?
true.
That's the win.
That's the fact.
You won on taxes. All right, Ross. You can get Ross Tucker Football Podcast. We appreciate you coming on, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Hey, my pleasure. Great to talk with you guys. Great to be on in the afternoon for once. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Thanks, Ross. There he is, Ross Tucker.